by Speak Sell Shine. And we're going to talk today. The PR world is changing. It is so much that is always going on. And we have another PR colleague talking about how it is shifting and changing in real time with AI. And what does that mean? And we're going to talk and dig into a little bit about a very successful book launch by a young lady, Emma Green. This talks about Start With Yourself and how this book, like after a week, became a New York Times bestseller. So what I'm going to do is bring up Dr. Brandi Sims right after this.
Welcome to the Get Out There and Get Known podcast. Join Pam Perry, veteran PR strategist, Emmy award-winning producer and publisher of Speakers Magazine, who will show you how to crack the code in getting out there to get known. Each week, she either interviews her media friends, PR colleagues, or she just goes solo, offering you strategies on publicity, publishing, and platform building. So listen up to hear how to get booked on media places and on superstar stages. Now, here's your host, Pam Perry.
Hey there. So before I bring her up, I'll give you a little bit about Brandi. She's a visionary founder and CEO of Brandinc PR and boasts a 15-year career in strategic communications, digital marketing, and publicity events. Her diverse experience has been honed through collaborations with a wide array of clients, including public figures, athletes, authors, speakers, nonprofit, government, brands, corporations, with offices in Oklahoma and Texas. Her impact is evidenced in her clientele, which spans various sectors, securing significant media coverage in Forbes, ESPN, ABC News, Fox News, The New Yorker, and AP News, just to name a few. So with that, I'm going to bring up, there you go, Brandi, Dr. Brandi, how are you?
Doing fantastic, especially now that I'm here with you, Dr. Perry.
Good. Well, you know what? I am so excited to have you here. So I want to hear a little bit of your backstory. So you have offices in Oklahoma and in Texas.
Yes.
So tell us about the trip. Where were you first? Did you live in Tulsa? Did you live in, so give us a little bit of the backstory.
Oh, I'd be happy to. Okay, so my story starts, there's a lot of steps in between my story, but we'll start it when Brandinc PR was launched. So I had the idea. I always had the entrepreneur bug. And at the time I was working a 9-to-5 Chamber of Commerce and, just kind of going through the day-to-day. And in that position, I learned that I was being undercompensated, undervalued. And so it was at that point that I decided, I've been here about 2 years now. I've been back in this state for just this limited amount of time. Maybe now it's time to branch off and see what consulting is like. I have so many friends that have done the exact same thing, left their agencies, started their own, and had some great success. I want to see that for myself. And so
you were in Austin when you started?
No, I was in Oklahoma. It was in Oklahoma. Yes.
And what city?
It's Lawton, Fort Sill.
Okay, which is near sort of.
So since you mentioned Tulsa, because I feel like people usually got the reference for Tulsa or Oklahoma City, which is fair. Now, this town is incredibly small. It's about 3 hours from Tulsa and maybe an hour and a half from Oklahoma City, but it's very military. My family's military, parents were Army, my husband was Navy. So that's what brought us to the state of Oklahoma to begin with. Otherwise, I would still be in Nashville, where I'm from.
Okay.
Mind my business. So, but that being said, we were there at the time. And, I had that spark, that bug, and I decided that day that I was leaving that position and I was going to start Brandinc PR. And 6 years later, we've expanded out in Austin. We've been in Austin for the last 3 years, been active as an agency for the last 6 during this period, and have just been growing and expanding ever since, serving clientele across the country. I can't even say that this was something that I just anticipated or expected. I was that typical person that, listen, I need to be attached to a 9-to-5 because I need the security. I need to know when my check is coming. I need to know all of the things because I'm a Capricorn, but I'm also type A. So that being said, this was not ever in my vision or my plan, but certainly with everything that has happened and the way that it has happened, I mean, nothing but God. Like, I'm so blessed and so fortunate to be this far along and to have grown in the way that I have in my career.
And so you also taught PR as well, digital communications, strategic communications on a university level as well. You
Yes.
were
Yep.
involved in PRSA. I mean, a lot of places it seems like where you were landing your feet, you were being a leader. And so you
Yep.
already had like that entrepreneurial bug, because when you're an entrepreneur, you got to wear all the hats, you got to do all the things, and you multitask a lot of times, and you're a visionary. So you had just some of the background that are just some of the things that you've done, right? Blavity's top Black digital marketing agency. You have been in, I see some of the things too, digital PR awards for the best PR agency in 2021, recognizing helping young leaders in Oklahoma. They're, adjunct public relations professor at multiple universities. So these are kind of the things where, you're an advisor on different things. We're both in Forbes Black. I see that is so you go in and you're also an advisor for Quoted Media Advisory Council. So you go in
Yes.
the Black MBA because you have an MBA as well. So you're part of PRSSA and Africa Entrepreneurs. So it's that you're going to be an entrepreneur, because entrepreneurs see visions of where they can fit in and how they can add value. Whether you are a leader, you're going in, you're solving problems, and you're doing those kind of things. And so between Austin, where you are right now, and also in Oklahoma, what
Yes.
type of clients are the clients that you have had the pleasure of working with? Athletes, you said, government agencies. Have any of the places where you've worked, have they ever become your clients?
Yes, yes. Oh, that's such a good question. So certainly within the entertainment and lifestyle space, work with athletes. Some of the more notable would be Cam Chancellor with the Seattle Seahawks. That was one of the clients I had the opportunity to work with. And more recently, if you're familiar with the Savannah Bananas, we represent several of the Texas Tailgaters players. So that's
Okay.
on the baseball end of things. But outside of that, I've mentioned the Chamber of Commerce. We've also worked with youth and family services organizations. Goodness gracious, the list honestly just goes on.
And
But
authors.
if I had to say, like, just our primary, zone of genius and niche is absolutely entertainment and lifestyle. We have an incredible client. I got to shout them out in Nashville, my hometown, Underground Music Collective. We absolutely, absolutely love them. They've been a long time client of ours. Started off at just, let's see what we can do with this Thanksgiving day of giving project for our nonprofit, and then, explore what it could be down the line. And since that time, that was back in 2021, we've been working with them for 5 years now. And
Wow.
they are
How did I know that in Nashville there would be some kind of music person, right?
some,
That's going to be like your go-to, because you're from Nashville. It's like it's
it's the
almost like
thing.
Detroit and Motown, that
Yes.
Nashville music as well. So yeah, that is
It
good.
is. It is. And it's just amazing. It's amazing to have access to some incredible, incredible talent, some emerging and upcoming talent, and just seeing what the process is from a sports side and then shifting on to the musician side, because entertainment is broad. Very, very
Mhm.
broad. I think people underestimate how broad it truly is. But being able to work in these specific areas, these very niche areas, has been a complete joy, because each of them require very, very different things. Even just on the music standpoint, we work mostly with independent artists. So independent artists, they're not signed to any label. So they have very much specific needs when it comes to their branding and their image management, where they need very, very different support. And they also have very, very different budgets,
Yeah,
especially depending on where they're at in the spectrum of being an independent artist. So
that's where
working
the
closely.
creativity. Yeah,
Yes, yes, exactly, exactly. So working closely with Underground Music Collective and being able to support those musicians has been amazing. Amazing, amazing opportunity to learn, but also an amazing opportunity to support.
that is good. Now, one of the things that we talked about, we both work with authors. So we both work with authors promoting their books. This one, Emma Grede, brand new book. It's only been out, I don't know, a week or so. She was just in Forbes. I sent to you
Yes.
yesterday on the 28th. Start with yourself, a new vision for working life. Now, very simple book, picture's not on it or anything. Like, you would think she's a very attractive lady, her picture's on it. But
Mhm.
let's kind of dive in a little bit about where this lady has been with this book, from The View,
Yes.
from Today Show, The Breakfast Club, Oprah. Like,
Yes.
you can't get any better than that. But I also saw her on Sarah Jakes.
Mhm.
This is a woman, she's only 42, that has relationships that she's leveraged. And
Absolutely.
one of her relationships, obviously with Kim Kardashian, because she's co-founder of Skims with her with that. But the other one is that I just realized that she was on the board of the Barack Obama Foundation
Mhm.
and considers Michelle Obama her mentor.
Mm.
So you come and not, her podcast is a whole nother thing, Aspire,
Oh,
but
yes.
but
Yes.
the relationships that she has leveraged has made her a New York Times bestseller. Now the book had to be
Yeah.
good, that's number one, and she had to have some skin in the game in terms of really developing. But what do you see that she has done different than most authors have done when they launched their book?
Oh, well, I have to start with the first and more obvious one is that she actually did a true rollout for her book release. I have not seen this, and you probably can speak to this as well watching. I have not seen this, it feels like in years. And it's refreshing
Yes.
because I like the aspect that we're taking our time when we're building out a strategic communications campaign like this, where
Yeah.
it's centered around a launch, an activity, an event, something that's happening that we want people to really sink their teeth in and really
Mhm.
honestly get excited about.
Mm.
From the podcast that she
Yeah.
made sure to interview with, to the publications, and then I want to point out that she didn't just focus on one core type and niche in those media outlets. She didn't
Right.
just go on Black platforms. She also went on other platforms. It was
CNBC.
her,
Yeah.
yes,
Mhm.
yes,
Mhm.
CNBC business niche or
Yes.
beat, and so on and so forth. So it was really good to see an overall rollout. I don't know who her PR team is, but my hats are off to them because I just saw so many things in this that just reminded me of this is how it's done, and it's
Yes.
for a purpose. We speak often about this, or really not often enough. There is not enough of an emphasis on the true complexities and the true process of a rollout. There's
Yeah.
this instant gratification that we have in society now. I blame social media. I know I don't want to be
They
that
want it.
millennial, but I'm gonna blame them
They
because
want it
now
fast. Yeah.
we feel like everything has to be right now. If it's not within my hand within a matter of seconds, there's something wrong with it. If I don't get sent this download, the value of the product isn't great. And in so many areas, I think that it started to trickle down into how we live our lives in thinking that if everything is quick, then there's more value to it than things that take time. And
That's
it's
good.
just not the case. There is value in taking time. Why? Because in this context, we want to be able to really dive into the story. Who is this person?
Mhm.
Okay,
And her
what is her
messaging
story?
was
Where does she come from? Her messaging was because she
flawless.
could have easily,
Yeah.
easily just thrown out the book. I'm known for the Kardashians. Okay, and that's it. And we really wouldn't get as much discourse and dialogue that's been happening over what
Mhm.
feels like the last couple weeks. It's been a
Yes.
couple weeks of this.
Yes. Yes.
Conversations have been spawned from the quotes out of these interviews that she's doing. So I'm absolutely a fan of it. I absolutely love it. But that's the first thing that I noticed is a true rollout and taking
Exactly.
her time,
Mhm.
meticulously going through each of these platforms and telling her story in a strategic way. It is chef's kiss.
It is. And one of the things you said about her rollout, I mean, she had the rollout with Tory Burch, right?
Yep.
So Tory
Yeah.
Burch did that for her. And it was like that was her field. She was in Women's Wear Daily. I
Mm,
mean, there has been, like you said, the PR that she's done, whether she did it herself or strategic, or she just picks up the phone and say, this is my dream list of where I want to be.
mhm.
I saw her on the Oprah podcast, and I want to say that she was very humble. She told Oprah that she's been watching her since she was 10 years old, and you've been my mentor in my head ever since.
Mm,
And of course, it seems like a lot of people when they're on Oprah that they say Oprah says, I read in your book that you talk about me. I mean, it's like Oprah's in like a lot of books, right? It's like,
Yeah.
it's like, okay, so I'm gonna have you on your show and I'm gonna read the quote that you said. But
Yeah.
it was very strategic, and it wasn't like, oh, my book is coming out. And this is what I find where most authors, it's like, oh, my book is coming out in a month. Let me get it together. Let me jump on some podcasts. Let me throw up
Yep.
some social media. Now she did use some social media. She used a lot of LinkedIn because it's a business book, and then of course Instagram. But the main thing was that she was on other people's platforms, and because she had her own platform, her own Inspire podcast, the people who have been on her shows also have platforms that she went back on. So she interviewed Mark Cuban, and then Mark Cuban is interviewed her for Forbes.
Oh, I
So
love it.
because of the
Yep.
relationship that, I mean, just
Yeah.
crisscross, and like you said, it's the chef's kiss in terms of how she actually rolled it out. Now, does everyone have those type of relationship? Is everybody friends with the Obamas and Oprah and this kind of thing? No, they don't. But whatever relationships you do have, you need to leverage them. So one of
Absolutely.
the things when I have an author that is just coming out, I said, what is your hometown? So for you, it would be Nashville. So you know, people love that hometown, you know, hero story. So you go back to Nashville, get into those magazines and newspapers and that kind of thing about your book. Your school, whatever school you went to, they have an alumni association.
Yep.
You want to get in the magazine, maybe be on the cover, but then you can't be on the cover if you just wait a month out.
Exactly.
Because the alumni association, probably their magazines probably planned at least 3 months out, I would think, if not longer. So if you want to be on the cover of if you went to U of M or you went to Michigan State, if you want, you know, because you have whatever it is. But even before you do that, before you do the ask, Dr. Brandi, we got to build the relationship.
Absolutely.
So you have to warm up to it. So don't just like, okay, Essence or Black Enterprise, here's my press release, put me in here. It's like, let's probably kind of like study the media a little bit. What are they really writing about? What do they want from me? What would they want from me? And that's where I find a lot of authors just really miss it. They just think like the media outlet is supposed to sell their book, and they're not.
And that's just not the case. But even a step further though, right? The assumption that because you sent a pitch to the media, they're just supposed to cover it. That's not how this works. Just
Never.
because you send anything doesn't mean that they're automatically or that you're entitled to receive coverage. That's not how the media works. The media is neutral for the most part.
Yeah.
Okay. They're
And
collecting information. Yes.
it may take several touch points, like several touch points, maybe 3, 4, 5, up to 9, maybe. And people are like, whoa, that many times? I'm like, that's why you hire a publicist, because they will then be one, they may have a relationship that will make that cycle shorter, but it does take time. And they're not obligated to cover you for anything.
Not one bit. There is no obligation. And if you do feel that you are entitled to coverage, the advertising door is right here. And send any email to advertising department of any media. You'll get a response probably within about 2 minutes. They are always ready to take your money.
Exactly.
But, you know,
And the
and
lines are
it's there for that
blurred.
reason.
And the lines are blurred. We talked about that earlier today. The lines are blurred.
They are
So
blurring.
sometimes you could go into a particular publication and it may have advertorial on top of it, or you could be on a television show and it may say sponsored content, or you can go into a digital publication and it can say branded content. So that's just another word of like, they pay to play with us. And there's nothing wrong with that, because people are just trying to figure out different ways to make money. And people aren't as much into really watching a true ad that sells. They want to watch some kind of content. So that's why advertorial is part ad, part editorial. And that's why some of the shows, the morning shows we talked about, you can see that they are branded sponsored content. And they have to be good, but they are paid. And a lot of people don't even realize that. Sometimes I will look at, and we said this too, sometimes you'll hear a different type of a interview, and both of us know because we're in media, it's like it must be
Yes.
paid.
This is the paid one.
This is a paid one. Even some podcasts are paid. Some
Oh, yeah.
podcasts are even paid, and
Yeah.
they in thousands and thousands of dollars. People are paying for eyes and
Mhm.
ears. So they're paying for eyes and ears. So those are and so how do you get people's attention? You go on other people's platforms. So if they don't let you on by earning it, like pitching it, then you might have to pay for it. That's
Yes.
one of the things. Or do like Emma Green does. She has her own. Aspire is her own. So she owns it. So we'll go over the pay. So paid, earned, shared, and owned. Those are the ways that people, you can have something that's paid, Facebook ads, whatever, those kind of paid advertising,
Mhm.
Earned, meaning that you hire a publicist like Dr. Brandi or myself, and we pitch you to different outlets based on a whole lot of things. It's science and art at the same time. I love it. It's like really trying to do double dutch almost.
Yes.
with the
Yes, it
media.
is. It is.
It's like double dutch. So you got to find the right
Yes.
timing. You got to find the right hook, all that.
Yep.
And then
All the things.
then shared. Shared is something where you're sharing the social media. That's like the shared
The shared
shared,
space.
the
You're
shared space. So
sharing a
yeah,
space. You're
LinkedIn is
borrowing the space.
yeah, you're borrowing the space. And then
Mhm.
own will be your own podcast, and you're having it maybe streamed on Roku, whatever. You're owning it. You actually
Mhm.
pay to own it, and that sort of thing. I'm paying for this to be on StreamYard. We're also on YouTube and that kind of thing. So then we could take it and put it on the leading edge network.
Mhm.
So that's owned. But
Yes.
there's so many different ways, and most people think it's social media, but it's changed in the era
Mhm.
of AI.
Yep.
And let's dive into that, because that whole AI has disrupted things in a good way, but also in a crazy way, because now people aren't believing what they see in terms of the social media. I mean, it's getting way too crazy. So let's talk about how AI has changed the way you have done things recently.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Well, I can definitely say Branding PR, we were an early adopter of AI technology. We saw it, and I
It's
saw it
here
as a
in
leader,
Austin.
as we're not gonna run away from the new thing, the new poppin' thing. We're gonna dive right into it, but let's get educated first. So one of the first things that I did just as a leader is I wanted to educate my team and make sure that they were aware of what AI was capable of, what it could do, how it could enhance their work, but also the ethical side of it, making sure that if you're going to use it, which let's be honest, you're going to use it. Everybody's curious, but this is the best practices as you are simply using it. It was something that was very, very important to me, not only from an educational standpoint, but also just as a leader that is adapting their team to something that's new, something that's fresh, that there are still kind of in a wild west period, right? Because there's
Yes.
not a lot of regulation behind it. They're still
Yeah.
figuring it out.
Yeah.
So let's be proactive as leaders and make sure that our teams have the things that they need. So right out the gate, we were early adopters, and my team were very much given the tools and preparatory, educational resources so that they knew what to expect and how to really appropriately use it. And then on the flip side, from the client's end, we made sure to let our clients know that we were using AI tools for different parts of our process.
Hmm.
That I think is important in terms of transparency. There's
Yes.
a lot of agencies out here that are not disclosing that. I think you should stop. You need to start sharing if you are using AI as a predominant tool in how you process and do your work. And
Hmm.
especially when we get into the specifics of PR services in nature. If you are having these tools right for you, you need to disclose that.
Hmm.
Because if you are, for example, some agencies do the billable hour, we operate mostly on a retainer. If you're doing that, that cuts a lot of time out.
Yes.
So this is kind of, again, where the ethical side of this is really important, but also the transparent nature of this is super important. So many caveats, but definitely we were early adopters in it, very, very much excited about it, but really wanted to lean in. And I know that there are still some that are kind of hesitant about it, or, if we start using AI, we're comms professionals, what does that say about our work? What does that say about creative work? And I have to push back on that. guys, we have always had new tools pop up. Social media for me is a new tool. When I was going to school, it had just popped up. Twitter just became a thing. My first press release that I wrote was, I wrote it down, or I typed it up for one, and then I had to send it via fax. That's going back.
And then we had fax blast. That was a new tool back then.
I'm just saying, okay. And I'm sure at that time it was like, we don't want to use these tools. You need to be able to handwrite it and all this other stuff. So I hear you, but we have to adopt and we have to adapt. And that's simply that. And if you fail to adapt, you fail your business and you fail your team, because you're not going to progress along and be able to keep up with the competition, because everybody else is actively using it.
I like the fact when you told everyone about the ethics of it, because that's really important. The way I have used it personally is that it tones some things down. And I'm talking about with customers and clients. And just sometimes clients can get under your skin and you want to say certain things, and Chat GPT has saved the sharp tongue that I made. And I have been a witness. I'm telling you, like from the very first time I ever really used it and became a fan, and it was like, oh, I see where I had a client that really, we were not seeing eye to eye, and it was just really bad. And
it happens.
They were upset with me. I was upset with them, and it was bad. And I took the situation, put it into chat, and it massaged it. Not words I would have said, because I was too angry. I was too much in the emotion of it.
You were in it.
And sent the letter, and they became my best friend after that.
I love that.
I promise you. And I was like, that is when I said, ooh, this is a game changer. Now, all the other things it does, yes, it could do all the other things. It can help write perfectly the headlines, subject lines, email. It could do, but that right there, taking the emotion out of something when I'm so like, I really want to write a dagger letter. But I didn't write a dagger letter. It became a very smooth letter. And all I said, the prompt was, you are an excellent customer service representative. And bada, bada, bada. And then it went through and wrote the letter, because I was all in my feelings. So that part of it was
you pointed out something good. You pointed out something very important in this, that you recognize right out the gate that this was a tool, not a replacement for your thinking, not a replacement for your strategy.
I just assigned it a role.
That. Exactly. You just assign this little bit to assist you along in the communications with your client. That's a huge difference. And I think that's something that people need to recognize when they are using these tools. First of all, it is a tool. It is not a replacement for your thought. It's not a replacement for your skills. And when it becomes that, you start to see the things that we are seeing now, especially on social media platforms. And honestly, in comms campaigns, I've started to see that now. Everybody sounds the same.
I know.
Everybody has the same message.
Everything looks the same. The graphic and the graphics
look the same. And there's no uniqueness about this. There's no seasoning. Where's the flavor? We need flavor. I want to hear from you. I don't want to hear from ChatGPT, because ChatGPT is saying the same thing for everybody else that didn't decide when they put that prompt in to customize and personalize. And I know ChatGPT because she always says, mine is a she. She always tells me at the end, here, tweak it to where you are. So I know you're getting that message too. So you are skipping that and just saying, she already did it. Boop, boop. And there we go. We're done. We check the box. And then you come to me or Dr. Perry, and you're like, hey, how come we're not getting any engagement? Nobody's responding to our pitches. Nobody's responding to our messages. And we take a look at your messages, and this is what you're sending. That's the problem. It's inauthentic. You're a robot.
And journalists will see that. If you write a pitch, the journalists will see that whole thing, and they'll blacklist you, and they'll just say, you know what, they're lazy. There's so many different types of tools where you could say, oh, well, we'll automate your pitches for you. We can send out 500 pictures a day and whatever, and it's going to look like it. Like half of them, 3/4 of them will go in the trash. So I always tell people, I said, it is better to hire, and we talked about this earlier, a professional, someone who's been there, done that, to help you navigate these streets right now in terms of what's going on in the AI disruption era. Because you don't want to be blacklisted because you think like, oh, this looks really, really good, but you don't even know what's good and not good because you're not a professional. You're just looking at what chat just spit out to you. So you
Yes.
got to have a solid foundation of what is good, and relationships will never be replaced.
It
Relationships will never be
cannot.
replaced. That's going to be always solid. IRL, you need to know people in real life. Got to
Mm-hmm.
know them in real life and have a relationship with them where you respect their work, they respect yours, and then you can pitch a client and you can have a New York Times bestseller based on the fact that you know the messaging is solid, that relationship, you are not bringing them junk, they've been trained, the media sound bites, all the things, all
Yeah.
the things. If there was uh, I guess you would say it. Look at Emma Grede in terms of every
Yes.
interview she does, they all basically are the same, a little bit different for the audience, but
Mm-hmm.
she's not off message.
Yes.
She
Yes.
studied that. It was really put in place. She had a template. The branding of it is the same.
Yeah.
Every single one.
Yes.
So that is the science of it. Looks like, oh, anybody can get on the view, anybody can do no, 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 no. It was all strategic. It is very,
Absolutely.
very strategic. Well, we are like right at time right now, so I want to make sure that we wrap up in time. But is there? I want people to know where they can find out more about you and where they can go, because I think you have some free things on your website that I want people to take
Yes.
advantage of.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, as always, you can visit the Branding PR website at brandincpr.com. So BRANDINC PR.com, where we have a ton of resources that Dr. Perry just mentioned, one of which is our newer one, which is our 5 steps to becoming a media magnet. It is a free tool, it's a free download. You can jump on there now, get that copy, start applying these tactics, the very real tactics that we utilize when we're building out campaigns for our incredible clients, and start to build out the foundation of what your PR and image really is about and what you hope to achieve as you kind of build and continue along. That's
Mhm.
exactly what those resources are there for. They're to help you grow, and we're here to help you and support you in every way that we can. And then, of course,
Is that
you
it?
can always reach
Branding,
me. Yes. Oh, go ahead.
Brand Inc. PR. Is that it?
Branding PR, you got it right. Yes, yes,
Okay,
yes.
good,
Okay,
good,
perfect. Yes, you got it perfect.
good,
But
good.
yes, I'm always open to questions. You're more than welcome to reach out. My email is brandy@brandincpr.com. Also on LinkedIn. So love to
Love
connect with you
LinkedIn.
on there.
Mhm.
And then, of course, always want to shout out the podcast, the Branding PR podcast, where we host incredible conversations with business leaders, entrepreneurs, communications professionals. Dr. Perry, you need to be coming on my show soon.
Yay. I put that in
And
the show notes already.
yes, yes,
The
please do,
YouTube. Yes,
please
yes.
do. And one of our more recent guests was the founder of E Entertainment Network, which was an incredible conversation for those that were tuned in, like I was, watching all the gossip and all the latest on celebrity news.
Mhm.
So
I figured
definitely
you
great
would love
conversation.
that kind of stuff. Yeah, being
Yes, yes.
entertainment. Yes,
But absolutely. So definitely get connected. We're here to help you and support you in any way that we can. And I'm here to get you PR ready. So
yes.
definitely looking forward to connecting.
I love that. I love that. And one of the things, real quick, Michael
Yes.
Jackson movie. Did you see it?
Not yet, but my children were like, Mom, can we go see? And I'm like, first of all,
Okay,
I have
okay. I
a kid.
won't be a spoiler then. I won't be a spoiler. Well, I'm
Don't
from
give me the
Detroit, so I'm
spoiler.
from Motown. So I saw it immediately because I wanted to see how they were going to portray him and all that kind of stuff. So being
Yes.
from Motown, you want to see it because you want to see Barry Cordy and how got discovered and this and that. Yeah, it's good. And
Yes, it's
Nia
good.
Long was excellent. Nia was really, really good. I mean, I know they talk about the nephew being but Nia was really good as Catherine. I've never seen her play an older person.
No, she's
Yeah,
never done that. No, we haven't
right.
seen that in her career. So
That's
this is
what I'm saying.
good.
It's like it's a different side to her I never saw.
I'm
And
here
I
for
was like really, really proud of her doing that. I was like, oh,
it.
this is really good. So yeah, with you being in entertainment PR, you would love it. You definitely
Oh,
would
I'm
love it.
excited. I'm excited. Well, I'm already a fan of Michael. So like that's already right, signed, sealed, delivered, but I cannot
Mhm.
wait to see it. And also, I heard that it broke records over the weekend. I think it was
Yes.
over $500 million
Yes.
box office records. You can't be
Crazy.
surprised. It's one of the how do I want
The
to say it,
most.
one of the last great entertainers, but really and truly, that is a talent that we
Mhm.
just have not seen and
I
probably
know.
may never see. I don't want to,
I know. You probably
but
won't unless
the
his
level of
nephew.
talent, artist development, it compared to now, don't
They
get me
said
started. That's another conversation.
he went from being just a singer to a
Yes,
great performer.
yes,
Okay. And that
yes.
was at the Motown 25 when he did that moonwalk. He said that was the thing that changed the plane.
It
And
changed
Quincy,
the game.
yeah, it really did. It really did. So anyway, so we can talk
Yes,
another 30 minutes about that because that was a whole nother
yes,
marketing PR. It took a long time for that movie to come out, but it was
it did.
really, really good. So I want people to go to brandincpr.com, get the resources that she has there. Dr. Brandi is really, really, I just realized that your name is Brandi. So you really had to be in this branding space anyway, didn't you?
It, it was going to happen. I was going to find a way to
I
put my
just got
name in
that.
there.
Like really, like that is like her real name. So, but I was like,
Yes,
I was like, oh my God, I love it. I love it. But
yes,
that
yes,
is, it's been really good just chatting with you. It's always so refreshing talking about our industry, what it's
yes,
changing, how to use it, how to do it ethically. That's very, very important. And making sure that you are getting out there, getting known, but make sure that you're getting out there and getting known for the right reasons and making an impact and that sort of thing. And that's really what we're truly about, of making sure that people know to do that. Get out there, get known, make an impact, not just for ego, but for impact. Yeah.
absolutely.
All
Absolutely.
righty. But thank you
Always.
so much for joining us today. I will talk with you later. God bless. All right, bye-bye.
You've been listening to the Get Out There and Get Known podcast, brought to you by PamPerryPR.com, where you'll get insider tips on how to build your platform, pitch the media, and promote yourself with confidence. Head over to PamPerryPR.com and get the exclusive video training on the 7 must-have marketing materials you need before you pitch in order to be considered in media places or superstar stages. PamPerryPR.com, where you help you shine like a superstar.